Hi, and welcome back this week. This week we are going to be pyrographing a dog's nose. It sounds really awful when you say burning a dog's nose because that's not very nice. But yeah, we're just going to get straight into it, and I will chat along as I'm going. I'm Kez. This is Phil is next to me. He is reading out any comments, any questions. If you've got anything, just let me know. Okay, so if you want to switch over to the other camera, please.
Yeah, I can.
He's tech guy too. Okay, so what we have is just the nose here. Now I have my reference picture. It's actually on my iPad because I find it easier to zoom in. So what we're going to start with is I've just got the Peter Childs.
Do you want the reference up in the corner?
Yeah, please. So there you go. You've got the reference photo up there. And what we're going to do is start with the darkest areas first because it's easier to blend. So I'm going to turn this machine on. All I've got in here is the just the teeny tiny spoon shader. That's all I've got in at the moment. And I've got this set at a number 5 for doing the dark inside the nostrils. Okay, so I'm just going to get on and waffle as I go along.
That's normal.
Yeah. So I'm just going to use round circular motions on this section and then a sketchy motion to bring it inside that nostril bit there. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Just there. So Phil, if you want to
I'm going to have
say hi to a few people. So
Yeah.
if you are in the chat, say hi so we can shout you out and say hi.
Yes, well, in the chat today we have Wayne the Woodturner, bright and early as always. Wishes Kez happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
We have Copper Owl Woodturning. We have Andrew from AGK.
Hello.
We have Wayne Bigfoot, and Valerie's normally somewhere around as well. Afternoon, guys. We have Rob from Klingspor Abrasives. Afternoon, Rob. We have Lucy Bundy Rowe. And we have JP Woodwork. And I think at the moment, we have Clinton Wood Dancers as well, has joined us.
Hello and welcome everybody. It's great to, I won't say see you, but I'm not actually seeing you. It's great to have you live with us. So what I'm going to do is just...
Jamie says, happy birthday, Kitty Pie.
Hello. Thank you, Jamie Pie. Okay, so this may look a little bit strange to start with, but I am literally just very, very light pressure and circular motion, which is called scrumbling, and backwards and forwards motion in these darker sections here first.
And Vicky's joined us. She says, happy birthday, Kez.
Hi, Vicky. Thank you. So just going around on these dark sections. So it looks a little bit weird to start with when you're doing the darker sections. And then you kind of look back and it does look really weird. But once you start adding the different tonal values in to the mid-tones and the lighter tones, it then starts coming to life.
Don't forget, guys, if you've got any questions, prefix them with a couple of cues in the chat.
Yeah, please ask questions. If you've got any questions, don't be afraid to sort of ask them. I always say that, if you're thinking it, then 3 other people might also be thinking it, but not want to ask. So
right, well there you go then. That's just prompted.
Go on then.
So Rob from Klingspor wants to know how you get the image onto the wood to follow. Okay,
so there are a number of ways that you can put the image onto the wood, and generally I print out. I don't think I've even. Oh, I've got my printout. So generally, I'll print out a picture. Now, this is made into a line drawing. I don't normally use line drawings, but you can print it out. Now, you can turn it over, and you can put graphite on the back. Place it that way. Actually, if I just zoom out a little bit. So you've got your pieces of wood here. Now you can add, just rub with your pencil on the back, and you can place it and then draw over the top of where your lines are, and it will leave a graphite line. Or you can use sorrel paper. You can also use carbon paper. What's the other one? Graphite paper. Graphite paper is a favourite, because graphite paper you can actually rub out, just the same as when you do graphite on the back of there. You can. I've known some people to use a light touch on a laser if you have access to one, and then burn on, over the top of the, I suppose. I mean, I don't 100% know how a laser works, but I can only assume you can get different depths.
You get different burn levels, don't you?
Yeah, so if you do like the lightest burn level, you can do it from there as well. Or if you have access to a projector is another way, or a projector app. You can have your phone, sort of up here somewhere, and then have the image projecting down onto your piece of wood, and you can draw out from there. So let's say there are loads and loads of different ways of doing it. So I've got just a little bit of dark going down here into the muzzle, under that's the bottom of the nose. So I'm just going to scrumbling motion, circular motion, and pulling it down.
Wayne Bigfoot wants to know if Vicky's watching Pyrography so she can get some new recipes. That was cruel, Wayne. But Vicky agrees. Yes, she is.
Okay. There we go. Just making sure that we do the darkest parts first. And that is just simply because it's easier when you've got a pyrography pen. It doesn't matter which type you've got, whether you've got this type, whether you've got the soldering iron type. It could be different brands. I mean, I'm using a Peter Child. You can use razor tip. You can use any. It really doesn't matter. And what happens is when the tip first touches the wood, it's at its hottest point. So it's easier to get the darker areas. So what we do is from that darker areas, what I'm going to do now is pull down. So I'm actually turn this down to a 4. Pull down from the darker area into the lighter area in strokes, and you can see that it's then getting a different, it's shading, but it's a different level, because when it touches the wood first, it's at its hottest, and as you pull down, the wood absorbs the heat out of the teeny tiny tip. So it helps to use that to your advantage, really. So there we go. So that's that bit done there. So we've actually got a bit of a lighter area there. So I'm not going to quite do that bit yet. That bit's dark there, but it's a little bit of fur. So again, we're going to go with the direction of the fur. Always go, if you're doing animals or hair, always go with the direction of the fur. And always make sure you keep looking at your reference photo and say, I've done a little bit, I'll stop, I'll look at my reference photo to see the direction, because this direction here is now changing to a downwards stroke. Now,
that nose at the moment looks like some sort of weird alien.
Yeah, it will do. It does. And I would say that every burn goes through its ugly duckling stage. And it really, really does. And you just have to push through to get the layers in. That's a little bit darker there, so I'm going to add a little bit more of a layer on there. So, and just going with the direction of the fur, because if you don't go with the direction of fur, sometimes you can, if you get it slightly wrong, you can make the muzzle look really long or really short and squat, or really wide, depending on what you've done with the fur. So always keep checking back to your reference photo.
And Jacked Up Leatherworks has joined us.
Hi, Jacob.
Some really beautiful work.
Thank you very much. I hope you're having a good day. So just got a really dark section under here. So we're going to aim to get in there as well. Like I say, it all looks a little bit weird to start with, but it does come together. Right.
I think the chat ought to tell us what they can see in that nose at the moment.
Yeah, what can you see?
It looks like a big pair of bushy eyebrows.
Yeah. Yeah, just going over an extra layer on there. With pyrography, same with like pencil work or anything like that, you have to work in layers. And if it's not dark enough, go over a couple more times. Just don't try to do it all in one pass because it doesn't quite work. So I've got just a little bit of dark up the side of this nose. So I'm just going to go up there. I know all the nose is dark because it's a black nose, but when you're looking at the picture, it's to get the highlights and the different depths, you have to really, really look. That's that bit there. So just going to bring that from the dark section, just drag it down. So it's more of a mid-tone. On that side there. I do apologise if you find that I'm waffling. I am just saying exactly what I'm thinking as I'm going along.
Jamie says he sees a hug from Kez at Harrogate in my future.
Absolutely. Can't wait. Can't wait. Who else is going to Harrogate?
Wayne the Woodturner. I'm especially looks like Rorash from Watchmen.
Who?
Probably pronounced. I don't know. Have a look at the screen yourself. There.
Well, is the Watchman's a show, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce it.
No idea. So all I'm doing, I've got nice and light. Now I'm doing the scrumbling motion again, which is the small circular motions. And I'm just doing it faster than I was because I want a slightly lighter burn as I go up the nose, because it is slightly lighter. It's not as light as I'm doing now, but I will add extra layers in. So we're just going to go over this side as well because the top of that nose is quite dark. And I know I've got like little bits in there that are white and showing it through, but if you look at a dog's nose, it is quite texturized. So doing the small circular motion actually looks like you're adding the texture, and it's just the circular motion that does it.
Jake Thompson's joined us and someone say a hug.
Hi, Jake. I have to give you a virtual one. You're a very long way away.
So it'll have to be a long distance hug at that.
Yeah. So just going over here.
Lucy says she'll give you a hug at Harrogate.
Absolutely. Can't wait. Can't wait. There we go. Going.
Harrogate is going to be known as Huggergate.
Huggergate.
That's from Robert Klingsford.
Nice. That's pretty cool. Right. So on the top of this nose here, we're just going to do this section, and because it's adding the fur in, we are going to go with the direction of the fur, even though it's still like the nose bit. So we're just going to go with the direction, and I'm actually using the flatter part of the spoon. So if you think a teaspoon, that's all it is, and I'm going to use this part of the bowl here and the tip just to flick.
Where's all the wood butchers joined us?
Hello, how are you doing?
He says, Don, he didn't hear the notification. Hi, everybody.
That's all right. It will be on replay, so don't worry. We're leaving them up, so Anybody can re-watch if they wish to. It is a burn along also if anybody wishes to. So yeah, you can burn along. You don't have to.
That camera's focused on your tip rather than what
Is
you're
it?
doing. Yeah.
There we go. Is that better? There we go. So just with the fur motions, but adding the layers in with the fur of the dog. And on her nose, it's a girl. There we go. Then because we've got a bit of a dark patch here, we just add extra layers in just to darken it down. And because you don't solidly add the layers, you do get the two different tones coming through. You can't always see the two different tones on the camera, but I promise you they are there. Pull that up out of there. So I've still got this on number 4. I'm just working quickly because the less time the pen nib is on the wood, the least amount it burns. So it burns lighter. There we go. So we've got a dark patch from here going round. So we're going to go with that one. So circular motions again.
Right, we have a question from Vicky.
Go for it.
Vicky wants to know, do you make your own tips or do those ones come with the machine?
This particular one comes with the machine, but yeah, I do make my own tips as well. Quite often for this one, I will use just a piece of looped wire. So the machine comes with a piece of wire all coiled up, and I'll just have it in a loop, and that does me fine. I can do a whole project with that. So here we've got fur, so we're going to go out with the direction of the fur. Just pulling that out there like that. Just going to darken this bit down in this nostril. What are you giggling at?
Your brain will get there in a minute, don't worry.
It's like having Muttley when you giggle.
I'm just looking at that picture.
Yeah.
On the screen here.
Right.
I'm trying to remember what the characters are.
What?
Look at the picture. What do you see?
Gremlin.
That's it. I couldn't think of it.
Brilliant.
We have a gremlin, not a nose.
Nice. Oh my gosh.
And Jacob's got a question for you. What temperatures do range from, and what wood makes the best details?
Okay, so the temperatures that I tend to use are the lower temperatures. I don't generally go above a 5.5 absolute maximum.
This machine hasn't got a digital readout.
No,
it's just a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah, it's just a scale of 1 to 10. So it's just the Peter Childs one. I think Jacob's in the States, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is just like a lower temperature. So it goes to 1 to 10. I work in lower temperatures. It goes up really, really high. I mean, if I turn this up to number 10 now, you can see that is starting to glow. If your tip's glowing, don't use it on the wood. Really do not use it on the wood. So we're going to go back down to a number 4. So I work in a number 4.
Take a while to cool down now.
Yeah, it's that's it. there we go. There.
Technical issues.
Yeah, technical issues. Yeah, so don't use it if it's.
And what wood is the best for burning on?
The best type of wood that I really like to use is actually sycamore. It's I tried it a few weeks ago, and it's just slowly becoming my favourite. Other than that, lime, basswood, cherry. I've been burning a piece on a piece of cherry just recently. This is a European lime that I'm working on now. Anything with a close grain, just for the simple fact is that if you have an open grain like ash or oak, I wanted to say walnut then, but it's not, it's oak. If you have ash or oak, you have got an open grain, and the little tiny tip dips into the pith of the grain and it burns faster, so you end up with a really lumpy, bumpy piece of artwork.
Your focus is gone again.
Your focus is gone again. Hang on a minute.
Here, you sorted.
Yeah, done it now. Yeah. So yeah.
I hope that answers the question with a few technical details.
Yeah, that's the one. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, other woods to avoid, or any oily woods.
Yes, and oily woods, exotic woods and stuff like that, because they let off toxins. MDF is a big no-no, and chipboard and things like that. A lot of people start with pine, and you can use pine. There's nothing wrong with using pine. I just find that the sap sticks to the tip as it gets warm, and it makes it really, really hard to clean your tips. You can never get it off, and you just end up wrecking your tips. So you end up throwing away and getting new ones, which is not what you really want to be doing, especially if you have the more expensive like pen type ones, and you have to buy like a whole new pen rather than making your own tips. So what we've got here is just the darker fur on the muzzle. So I'm just going to pull down in short strokes. I've got this on a number 4. I'm actually going to turn it down to about a 3.5, I think. Try it on 3.5, because we can layer. I'll pull that down. And
I think YouTube seems to be playing up today, because Lucy's been struggling with it buffering, and so's Andrew.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Is it YouTube, or it's because all the kids are on the internet?
No, we should be good on that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so just pulling this down, the fur sections down there. So what I can do is go over and layer, just to make it just a little bit darker in sections, but not in all sections, because if you look at the muzzle, you've got the different shades, the different tonal values of the fur. So pulling that down because it meets the bottom there, so we're going to go all the way down. There we go. Just pulling this section out over here a little bit more. Again, going with the direction.
Big no-no for MDF, Rob.
Oh gosh, no, definitely not. It's because it's all glued together. MDF, chipboard, and things like that. Because it's all glued together, the glue gives off the toxins, and it's actually poisonous to your lungs. So, definitely a big no-no. You can. I know a lot of people that use plywood. If you're using plywood, that's absolutely fine. Just don't burn through the top layer into the glue. So if you're doing like really, really dark burns, it's best to just be careful with the like the top layer and the glue. Sorry, need a drink.
Yeah,
My voice was going a little bit.
MDF's all right with a laser where you've got fume extraction, but not if you're working above it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got a little bit of lighter furry bits here. It wasn't as dark as what we were just doing. So just put those in there so we can see the direction. You don't have to do every single first stroke. I'm not. I'm sort of like laying some down, and then what I'll do is I'll go over, and it's just like a dark patch, and then add the finer details in.
Sorry, Rob, afterwards. I hadn't noticed the comment, your previous comment.
What's that?
He says it's the same with lasers. MDF makes a messier machine and laser lenses.
Yeah. And just pull in the direction of the fur. Now we've got little whiskers here, and they are light whiskers, but we're not going to worry about those right now because I will show you a trick towards the end. Once we've obviously done the dog a little bit more, show you a little trick on how to get the lighter whiskers back in again. So just here I'm going to darken these down a little bit more. So I'm just using slightly slower strokes. So I've still got this on a 3.5, this machine. I'm just using slightly slower strokes because the longer your tip is on the wood, the darker it is going to burn. The pressure is the same. You haven't got to put a lot of pressure on your pen tip. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm going to use the side of the spoon here like this, just on the down section, just to bring down so it looks like the furry details. Just for the darker section here.
Yeah, next time you demonstrate from the spoons, have it in shot.
What?
Next time you got the spoon.
Sorry. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm using the side of the spoon on the downward section, so I'm going like that. Sorry, I didn't realise it wasn't in there.
In other words, the tip of the machine is exactly the same shape as a spoon.
Yes, it is. It is. That's why it's called a spoon shader. I teach pyrography at a school not far away from us, and all the kids actually laughed at me because I had a teaspoon in my teaching materials, and they were like, "Miss, why have you got a teaspoon in with your pencils and your tips and things?" And I was like, actually, it's a really good thing, because obviously these tips are teeny tiny, you can't always see. But yeah, they were laughing at me. Teenage kids, eh?
And we think it's the kids that are nicking the spoons.
Yeah, no, it's me that's nicking the spoons. So I'm just going to do this side as well, because we've got darker patches down there. Doing the same again, using the side of the spoon. Just to bring the furry details in.
Oops, caught my keyboard. Sorry.
Oh, what are you doing?
Highlighting messages from ages ago.
Oh, right, okay. So bringing those down there.
Don't forget, anybody who's joined us since we started, if you've got any questions, just drop them in the chat.
Yeah. Apparently it's time to make tea. That's what we watched us.
I'll finish this bit first.
Yeah, I will do. Don't worry. I'm just going to leave halfway through, you know. So just darken it down in the layers. Now, the reason why I use such a low temperature is because I have more control over the layers. I have more control on what depth that I can get it to. If I just go in all guns blazing with a really, really dark temperature, I have no control of the burn. So it just goes in black and scorches everything. And if you look at something like this nose here, you can see, yes, it's a black nose, but you can actually see this black nose here. It's not solidly black, the whole thing. So you have got these lines up here. So let me just use this. So you have got these lines up here that are solidly black, but you can see here that it's slightly lighter, and then this bit here as well is slightly lighter. This is darker all the way underneath, and then you have got also this lighter section here where the sunlight is hitting it, and then here as well. So even though they are black, they're not blackest of black. So that is what the tonal values mean, and that is why I run in a low temperature, because I have more control over what I can burn.
And Steve from SK Crafts has joined us.
Hi, Steve. Frank.
Never going to let him live that down, are you?
No, I'm not. Not at all. I think at this point it's just a running joke. So just pulling that down into dark section. Right, so what I'm going to do is just leave that piece of wood to cool a little. And I'm going to go back up here.
And why are you doing that?
Why am I doing that? Because it gives the wood just time to cool down enough to rework on, because when you burn, you are taking the moisture out of the wood. I know they're dry, but they still have a little bit of moisture in. So it stops or reduces the risk of your piece of wood bowing and bending everywhere. So just circular scrumbling motion again, and we're just going to go over here where this dark patch is, up here. Over there, top there. Just going to add a little extra layer in that bit.
Well, you're ruining my face now.
Sorry, ruining your gremlin. Did anybody else see a gremlin? You can still see it, look.
Yeah.
You still see the gremlin. Can't unsee it, can you?
No, once you spotted it.
So, I'll put there.
They seem to have YouTube issues today. Alex the Wood Butcher says it's buffering every few seconds here, so going to say bye and catch up later on.
Okay, no worries.
No
Thank
problems,
you for
Alex.
coming
Take care.
So just going to add extra layers in there. So just go a little bit slower because I want it a little bit darker. And then
Yeah, I think people keep leaving and trying to rejoin and hope that it's going to stop buffering.
yeah, I don't know whether it's YouTube or our internet.
No, Steve says he thinks YouTube is having a few issues today.
Oh no, it's not good at all.
by the sounds of it. Jamie's having similar issues. No, it doesn't look like it was your internet, Andrew. It looks like it was YouTube.
Well, it is YouTube, is it?
It'll fix itself at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, of course it will. So it doesn't it? It's just the way the world works. So I'm going to go over here, but a little bit faster motion, circular motions are scrumbling, and go up the side of this nose, just here. Even faster, because I want that bit a little bit lighter.
Speedy hands.
Yeah. When I get going, I go quite fast, but obviously for tutorial purposes, I have to kind of slow down.
We have Shelley Plays joins us.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing? I hope you're good today. So just going over the top of here, because it's a darker patch over this bit here. So slow down a little bit more.
Right, Jamie's got another one for you.
Go on then, Jamie.
At the end, like what tattoo artists do, and add the white highlight with a pencil or ink, for example, or would you just leave it unburnt to begin with?
Now, you can see well, you can't see, you could see. You can see the little catch lights in the eyes there. Now, I will add either just a little dab of paint, just a little bit of white, titanium white paint. You can add pencil. You can leave it unburnt, absolutely can. But I prefer to use a little bit of either white paint or white pencil, just because it just adds that extra depth when you add the catch lights in.
Especially if you're using a timber that isn't really light.
Yes, yes. So it just adds that extra depth.
Looks like you're doing hair replacement on a bald guy now.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you're on the ball today, aren't you, love? I need Valerie to come and whack you.
Sorry, it does.
We got the darker bit just here, so keep going with that bit there.
Everything froze as you showed the eyes. I'll rewatch and get the answer.
Pardon?
Everything froze on YouTube when you showed the eyes.
Oh.
You'll get the answer later.
Yes, I add catch light. On the catch lights, I add white. Either white paint or pencil. It doesn't really matter which. And again, you don't have to if you don't want to.
Paint's a bit more resilient when you're putting the finish over the top.
Yes, it is. So we've got a little bit of furry details over here. So we're going to go in the direction of the fur again, over this nose. There we go. Around there again. So I'm just going to darken this little bit down a minute, and then come across here and do this bit as well. And then you've got the nose that comes up the front here, which is quite dark. So we're just going to slow the circular motions down a little bit and just go up the front there, just to...
I think we're changing now from the Gremlin to ET.
Thanks.
Wayne says the problem for Andrew is he's not quite in Yorkshire, so they always get to reduce service. Lucy Better says she's way behind now due to freezing.
Sorry. Well, yeah. Hopefully it's not our internet, and hopefully it's just YouTube playing sillies. But yeah.
You can always watch it back, Lucy. It's gonna the lives will stay on YouTube.
Yeah, leaving them on there. So right, let's get some of this top in here. In the nose. Get this nose looking like a nose instead of a bald guy or ET or something. What's that side?
And Mr. Keep It Classy himself's joined us. Huey Leinart.
Hello, Huey. How are you doing?
He says that YouTube must have the same internet provider as he has.
Yeah, is it that bad? So around there. Okay, so that was my chair, by the way, squeaking, not me. So just going to go around the bottom of this muzzle bit here where the darker bits are. Just go in again, same direction as the fur. I think it stops about there, doesn't it? So just pull that bit out there. There we go. We're starting to get there. It does actually look like a nose.
We have a happy birthday, Kaz, from Huey.
Thank you, Huey. Just add in some of the darker hairs around the nose. Actually, I'm going to add that bit. It's quite dark, actually. So, and drag it out.
Oh, Lucy says she's also having to help Kezia play Barbies.
Oh, I'm sure you're being grateful, Lucy. See, the Barbie's all cars for you, isn't it? We didn't get a chance for Barbies or anything like that with ours, did we?
Nope.
All boys. There we go. So I'm just going to turn this down a little bit. So we're on 4.5. I'm going to turn this down to a 3.5 just to bring these hairs out a little bit more, but I don't want them too dark because obviously it's a golden lab. So just bringing these out here like this. I've got a bit on this top bit actually, it's a bit darker.
15 minutes to go, darling.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. seems to fly by. I think it's just because I'm waffling. I feel like I'm waffling to myself.
You are. Nobody else is listening. Everybody else has got the volume turned down.
I don't blame you. My brain is kind of like really, really weird, and it's trying to get it to make sense to everybody else. That's the difficult part. So bringing this section up a little bit with the fur direction. I know it's a grain direction, but it's not the grain, it's the fur direction. Forget the grain. So there we go, up there like that. And that side. I've still got this on a 3.5, so it is slightly lighter.
And Jake from Jacked Up Leatherwork says he could watch this all day long.
Really? Amazing. There's me trying to be conscious that nobody gets bored. Hence why I'm waffling.
And me seeing funny faces in it.
Yeah. So just, we've gone from the darker fur around the nose, and we're just pulling from the darker into the lighter with the turn down heat. So actually, it's a little bit darker up there. There's me going into light sections. We've got a darker section up there. There we go. So just bring that over there, just in the direction of the fur. It's all about the direction of the fur. And I don't know whether anybody's noticed that I don't actually, when you have noses, eyes, anything, when you're doing realism, there is no hard lines. So I didn't just go all the way around the nose and then do the nostrils. It's all about shading. It's all about the tonal values and then adding the details. Just because if you look at somebody's face, or your pet dog or cat, or even a budgie, it's got no hard lines. Eyes, ears, nose, mouth, anything like that, even like the contours and the shape of a head, it's got no hard lines. If you give it hard lines, that's where you are heading into cartoon characteristics.
It becomes unnatural.
Yeah. It's also, you say, you head into the cartoon characteristics, which, if you're a cartoonist, then that's perfect. That's where you want to be. If you're looking for realism, forget hard lines. Absolutely forget them. There we go. It's quite dark underneath that nose there. I'm going to bring this bit down. Quite dark in there. Where the nose meet the lips. You call them lips on a dog? It isn't it?
I don't know if there's anything else to call them, so yes, we'll go with lips.
Doggy lips.
And Lucy says that her internet won't do. Oh, sorry. My YouTube won't do anything. I'm really sorry. I'm going to give up and try again later.
No problem, Lucy. I hope you have
Looks amazing, though.
I hope you have the rest of your day is great. Thank you for joining us. So there we go. Just pulling extra bits of fur out. Well, I'm not pulling the dog's fur out. That sounds really mean. But I'm pulling the colour down. There we go. And these.
Huey says we always called them dog chops.
Dog chops. That's a pretty cool name. Dog chops. Cool. Okay, so I'm doing the fur on the dog chops.
That's going to stick now, Huey.
Yeah, dog chops. It's funny, isn't it, what sticks? There we go. So that side there is a little bit darker there. It's just about layering. I kind of dot all over the place. It just gives the wood in one area a chance to cool a little. And sometimes then you go back and you see something else. Well, that bit needs to be darker. And sometimes working in one area, you kind of get a little bit blind to what you're doing. So it's good to move around a little. Well, I find it. That's just perhaps the way my brain works, but yeah. So what I'm going to do is turn the spoon over so we're upside down. I'm going to use this point here just to add some darker details in just on this section here. So slower strokes, and you don't have to add too many in because otherwise the dog looks really fluffy when she shouldn't. I know that fur is fluffy, but not super duper fluffy in this section.
Huey said they used to have boxers, and
Yeah,
especially as they got older, it fitted even more.
pug chops, yeah. Just adding them in over on that side, and then we're going to go and do some on this side. They're a little bit darker. So spoon is still upside down, so there we go.
You've gone quiet on us again.
Sorry.
He contemplated.
No, it's just adding those detaily bits in there, like that. Yeah, I think. What time have we got? I'm just going to go over there.
7 minutes to go.
Oh, that's not bad. Not bad. So just turning the spoon back so it's bowl shaped again, and just going over that section there. I've still got this on a 3.5, and just working a little faster. On this side, for a little bit on this side, and we'll go a little bit up there. Still the same direction of the fur.
There's a little bit of carbon on the other side.
Ah,
There's a little bit of carbon I can see on the other side.
on this side, no, it's just where it's burnt in. If you like this look.
And just look like a little bit of carbon sitting on the surface.
No, it's just where the light catches it, and it's good. The burn goes a little bit shiny. There we go. Just add that bit in there, and then there's a couple of little bits up there. Just go over that so it's not quite so light. Same with that one. And then this section down here. Just give that another layer of burn. just to darken it down just a little bit. Because we don't want it too light so it sticks out really, really bad and looks unnatural. Aiming for as natural as possible. Go over again. And you can go over lots and lots of times. It just darkens it down a little bit each time. Obviously, it depends on what temperature you've got your machine at. There we go. That looks a bit better, doesn't it? No.
Looks less like a face, more like a nose.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, just pull these hairs out a little bit more. Well, I'm not pulling hairs out, but yeah, pull the fur in the direction. Because even though it's a light dog, you still need to add the shade and the tonal value to the different shades. Because we've worked with a darker area, but it works exactly the same with the lighter areas as well, and skin tone. You still need to add the different tones in, even if it is really, really light. And there's actually more colours than you think, and more tones and shades than you think there is when you really, really look at something. Put that one down there. On the chops, dog chops. I like that.
Told you started something here.
Yeah. So, get hitting my head on that camera. Oh, it was the camera or the wire. I think it's the wire. There we go. Pulling that out some more. And it's just about going around and adding extra layers where needed.
So what you're doing at the moment is
yeah, just
getting the base layers in.
Yeah, you get the base layers in and the different tones, and well, you kind of pull from the darker.
At least it was kept classy.
What?
Huey.
What have you done now?
At least it was kept classy with his dog chops.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Huey.
We need some Jamie music, don't we, for when you're quiet?
Yeah, sorry. It's when you're adding in layers, there's not really much thinking going on, so it's kind of just making lines in the direction of the fur. So do this side as well. I don't know, maybe we should have a quiz or something going off while we're going. What do you reckon?
Yeah, we'll have to come up with something for your quieter moments, won't we?
Yeah, a quiz or something. I don't know. Anybody else fancy a game of something? I Spy?
We tried that one earlier.
There we go. And it's just adding layers in. Layers and layers and layers and layers and layers. Working in layers. Lots of them. So, yeah, I think we're about come to it for this nose, I think.
So where are you headed after the nose?
I'm not sure. What do you think? An ear?
Don't know.
Should we do an ear next?
I have to get everybody to drop in the comments after the video.
Where do you want to go?
Yeah. Where do you want us to go next?
You can go down the it's muzzle, isn't it? Or the dog chops right that side. Yeah, ears, head. Yeah.
Mesmerised watching, Huey says.
Really?
Need to get to go on our pyro machine so I could have some practice.
Yeah. You have to fight Kaylee for it. Got a bit of a dark patch over there, actually.
And Olivia thought it was quick. Now knows it isn't.
No, pyrography is definitely not quick. You can spend hours and hours and hours on something, making, sort of something look realistic. Yeah, it's definitely not quick. But I think that a lot of crafts aren't very quick, though, are they? If you take your time, they're definitely not quick.
They seem very quick on a Facebook video or on Instagram.
Oh yeah, really. Yeah. I mean, it's sort of like with social media, that everything goes really, really fast now, and you kind of got a 12-second, in between 7 and 12 seconds, sort of like span
from beginning to end.
Yeah, and it seems that people are getting that way, aren't they? There we go. So, but yeah, I think that's about done for this week. So you can add lots of more layers in if you want to. We're just going to go with a basic amount of layers for realism. Just to keep the videos in reasonable time, I think.
Okay, so Huey says the buffering appears to be a Google problem.
Oh, does it?
If it runs on a different browser, it runs clearly.
Oh, okay. So if you're running Edge or Firefox or something.
Yeah, he's running Opera.
Yeah. Well, what's it? YouTube belongs to Google, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, right, I think what we'll do is we'll leave that there for this week. So if you guys want to...
Oh, you're going to zoom out a minute?
Yeah, I'll zoom out a minute.
See where you've got to.
Zoom out a minute, yeah. So that's in. We'll go out.
So we'll switch that one.
This is where we're at with this. Obviously, that's the little puppy that we're working on, and that's where we're at. So it's going along nicely. Starting to look how I'd like it to look. I won't move my chair up with me. I have to move over there for that's it. But yeah, I think next week we'll work on something else. Let us know if you want to work on anything in particular, and if not, we'll find something to work on.
Are you showing your little Prezi then?
Oh, okay, yeah. So I work at a special school on a Tuesday, teaching children pyrography, and there was a young girl there, well, teenage girl, and obviously with special needs, and she was doing pyrography the first time last week. It was the first time, and she actually made me her first her first pyrography. So she did a bit of pyrography and a bit of paint. So, and she gave me her picture of a butterfly. So I thought it was pretty cool. So I thought I'd share it. Yeah. So this kind of things make me happy. So I have to share it. But yeah, I think that's it. If you guys got any questions, give us a shout. I think the Pyrography Facebook group, get the words out, is pinned to the top, is it not?
It's pinned to the top of the chat, yeah.
If you wish to join, it is solely pyrography. You're more than welcome to join. And I think that's it for this week. And we'll see you next week. Same time.
Yeah. And let us know in the comments below which bit you wanted to work on next.
Yes, absolutely. Right.
Take
See you
care,
later, guys.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.